Hello ladies and gentlemen, Stephen here from Redolessence. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope this video finds you well. And in this video, we're going to be taking a closer look at the newest fragrance by the company Mont Blanc. Yes, the pen maker. They also make fragrances as well. This one is a 2016 release and it goes by the name Legend Spirit. It is a flanker and the perfumer for this one is Olivier Pichot. Now Olivier Pichot also did the original, which was released back in 2011. He did the intense version, which came out 2 years later in 2013, and now he did the newest flanker, which is sort of marketed as a timeless and fresh release. I don't know if I would necessarily say it's timeless because it does have more of a contemporary smell, sort of heading the direction that a lot of fragrances are heading in nowadays. But nonetheless, Olivier Pichot, very good track record, very nice resume. He's even worked on 1 Million by Paco Rabanne. He's done many scents for this company, men's and women's fragrances. He's done a lot of scents for Diptyque as well. Now, there are many different versions of this fragrance, so I must caution you, be wary as a consumer. They have a lot of limited edition releases of the original, which is basically the same exact smell, but they're marketed in a different colored bottle. This one is a new scent, so it doesn't smell all that similar to the original, at least not until the dry down. So the original, I wasn't too crazy about it because the note breakdown made it sound more interesting than it actually was, with notes like pineapple and apple and a berry note. And then, to me, it just smelled like Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce for a higher price tag. And then the intense version just has like that amplified coumarin / tonka bean note. This one is actually a fresher version of the original, but is it fresh enough or different enough to warrant a purchase, or are there other fragrances out there on the market that would provide you with a more bang for your buck? That's what I'm going to talk to you a little bit about later on in this review. Lastly, this fragrance is classified as a woody aromatic. Let's go ahead and kick things off by taking a look at the presentation. So here on the box you have the logo, the name of the fragrance written below that, size and concentration at the bottom. This one is the 1.7 fluid ounce. On the very bottom you have the UPC code with the serial number printed right next to it. Same information on the back, and then the Mont Blanc emblem up here at the top. So here's the bottle. Really nice looking bottle, very similar to the original. If you buy the bigger size, it's just a little more elongated vertically. But you have Mont Blanc engraved into the cap. Really nice attention to detail. Emblem once again here on the front. Emblem once again here at the top. You have a small sticker at the bottom with the serial number. Should coincide with the one found on the box. Nothing going on at the back. The cap clicks into place, so you could pick this one up from the cap. The distribution on this one is very narrow. Okay, spray from a distance, but it gets the job done. And that was a presentation from Mont Blanc Legend Spirit. Akash writes, another flanker from the Legend line, very soft fragrance. To my nose, it reminds me of Invictus and Creed's Silver Mountain Water. And King writes, this to me smells generic, but definitely a compliment getter, in my opinion. So the way that this fragrance differs from the original is that it's a fresher release. It opens up with this bright, citrusy, effervescent opening, which is really rather appealing. But it's one of those many fragrances where the best part of the fragrance is the opening. And then when it dries down, it becomes a little uninteresting, like there isn't much going on. And it does bear a lot of similarities to the original in the dry down. In the dry down, you really get that sort of lavender musk thing that the original has going on, and to me, it just loses its appeal. In the opening, though, it is rather interesting, although it is short-lived. It has a lot of grapefruit, which adds a sort of bitter, dare I even say, acidic smell to the composition. And then it also has bergamot, which introduces this traditional, classic sort of freshness. So in the marketing, when they mention that this is a timeless release, maybe the bergamot is one of the few notes in this composition that do give way to that. Other than that, in the opening, there is this sharpness about it that I actually quite like, and it reminds me a lot of the smell of ginger. Now, I own and have tried many fragrances that do contain a ginger note, like Burberry Sport Ice, Dior Homme Sport, Dior Homme Cologne smells very strongly of ginger to me as well. So does L1212 Jean by Lacoste. And what I can say about this fragrance is that it's in the same family. It's a fresh, casual, everyday sort of fragrance that you can wear whether you're going to work or you're going to the mall or you're hanging out with your friends or a night out or something like that. But it is on the fresher side. When it starts to dry down, you have some woods coming out. There are more indiscernible woods than there are discernible woods. So you can't really tell whether it's, you know, cedar or oak or whatever. It just smells like a woodsy base. But I think the part that really gets the most shine or the most attention in this fragrance is the opening, where it's very bright and uplifting and it just smells great, you know? Unfortunately, when it dries down, it does get a little bit boring to my nose. It smells very similar to many other fragrances that you've smelled in the designer realm, and it doesn't really have any sort of defining characteristic that allows this fragrance to stand out, and it's certainly not going to be a fragrance that defines a generation or anything like that. It's just another mainstream release that smells good, it's fresh, it's clean, it's inviting, and people are going to buy it for all of the aforementioned reasons. But as it compares, I should say, to the original I think has more personality. The one good thing that this does have going for it is I like to interchange between this and Dior Homme Cologne. I don't own Dior Homme Cologne, but I have a few samples that I've gotten from my good friend Bert over at Sephora, so thank you very much if you're watching this, the Fragrance Whisperer. But what I like about this is that it's not as transparent and as ethereal as Dior Homme Cologne. This one has more of a dimension, it has more of a depth, and that's because it has that original DNA in the background. So when I want to wear something that smells a little more natural, more fresh, more clean, more transparent, I'll go with Dior Homme Cologne or even Dior Homme Sport, no matter which formulation we're talking about. If I want something that's a little denser, that has more layers, a little more multifaceted, I'm gonna go with this one. My wife, on the other hand, loves this scent, so you are going to get a lot of compliments with this one. I haven't gotten any unsolicited compliments from anyone other than my wife, but I will tell you it's the type of scent that has the potential to garner many compliments. Let's finish things off with the rating. So first up, we have uniqueness and overall smell, and this is not a unique scent. Like I said, if you're looking for something that's bright and fresh and a little spicy, woody, aromatic, has a clean sort of smell to it with a musky dry down, you know, you're probably going to like this scent a lot. But if you're looking for something that's different, something that's going to make you stand out among other people who wear fragrances either at your job or, you know, around a group of friends or in the club, this is not going to be that scent. But it is a pleasant, appealing scent. It mimics and resembles so many other fragrances released in that same realm, I would say. As far as longevity on this one goes, it's okay, it's decent. I would say it's average. You're going to get between 4 to 6 hours, and then it does become a skin scent. Projection on this one is within an arm's length for like the first half hour to an hour, and then it does sit very close to the skin. You got to remember, a lot of the notes contained therein are of a more volatile nature. We're talking about the bergamot, we're talking about those other aroma molecules that have that citrusy smell, we're talking about the grapefruit. So unfortunately, in the dry down, you're not going to get too many base notes that will prolong the longevity of the fragrance. So it's also not going to project as loudly as it does in the first half hour to hour of application in the rest of the longevity of the fragrance. And when we're talking about versatility, yeah, it's pretty versatile. I probably wouldn't wear it on a night out. I would go for something a little bit sweeter. So I wouldn't wear it on a date, even though you could potentially get a lot of compliments from it. I feel great wearing this one to work, and I've actually worn it to work on a number of occasions. Again, I haven't gotten complimented on it, but it is a fresh, appealing smell. I would wear this in the hotter weather just because of the compositional nature. It's evocative of the warmer seasons, and anybody of any age could wear this, I would say, whether you're a teenager up to somebody in their 60s or 70s. It just has a appealing smell to it. And as it pertains to the presentation, I like the colors, I like the detail, the atomizer works pretty well. It's an okay presentation. If I were to give this fragrance an overall score, it would be a 5 out of 10. I just don't think this fragrance is that interesting. If you really love the original, if there's just something about the original that really strikes your fancy, but you wish it were a little fresher, a little more inviting, a little more appealing, a little more wearable, despite the fact that the original is very wearable, I would highly recommend you check this one out. But like I said, there are many other fragrances on the market of the fresher variety that I would rather reach for. You know, Burberry Sport Ice, Dior Homme Sport, Dior Homme Cologne. So this one, it's in that same family, but it's a little denser, a little multifaceted. But honestly, I actually like Dior Homme Cologne. I think Dior Homme Cologne would be a better, more transparent, but fresher version of this scent. So there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. That was my review of Mont Blanc Legend Spirit. If you own or have tried this new scent, please let me know what you think by leaving a comment down below. Also, please don't forget to rate and subscribe for future videos. So once again, everyone, thank you so much for watching. This has been Steven with another fragrance review from Red Essence. We'll see you soon.